Hi, welcome to Align with Ariana. I am Ariana, of course, your favorite psychic medium in all things spiritual. Welcome to the channel that is here to heal, inspire, and help you create. So in this session today, we're going to be talking about the 6 elevated levels of consciousness. Now, if you know anything spiritual or if you're new to it, this is going to help you. This is actually going to give you a guide to help you on your spiritual path and your spiritual journey. I know that it's hard on a spiritual path. I know that it's hard on a spiritual journey because I am here on my path and my journey. We all are here. You are not just the physical body, okay? The physical body is your avatar, and then you also have a spiritual body. That's kind of how consciousness works. You have the conscious realm, you have the unconscious realm, the subconscious realm, and these are the things that make a mental action or make mental movement or physical movement in your everyday life. This is how you're getting results, okay? The subconscious. Now, the subconscious is here to really shape and really mold the things that's your spiritual life, the spiritual growth, all things in your higher self, okay? The conscious realm is through your physical body. It's through the physical aspect. We're going to talk all things to the 6 steps to the elevated consciousness. Now, going through each one of these steps is really going to help you. Now, if you've been wanting to really elevate, you're saying, I'm on my journey, I'm on my path, but I need more. I need to grow. I need to elevate. How do I do this? First, you have to impact your conscious realm to impact your subconscious realm. Now, the subconscious, as I mentioned, are what happens behind the scenes. And the conscious is what happens while you're on stage, okay? This is how you're doing what you're doing every day in your everyday life. And these are physical steps that can help you in this lifetime and what you can do now to change, okay? To get on the right track. I hope this makes sense. So let's dive into it. Okay, let's break down the number 6. In order for you to understand, in order for you to understand or overstand what these 6 elevated levels of consciousness is, it is going to be by looking at the number 6. Now, I will tell you, none of this information is in a book, okay? None of this information is you're going to find on the internet. These are ways that my spiritual guides and my higher self and all of the benevolent beings that are around me taught me how to heal myself. So I want you to get your pen, your notebook, your paper, all of this out, okay? Get it out so you know the class is in session. This is about spiritual elevation. I am here to heal, inspire, and create. So you are here to do those things. In order for you to work towards that, you must be fully aware of how to do it. Many and oftentimes will go to different books or different resources or find different teachers. So hopefully this is for you. And if this doesn't work for you, I inspire you and encourage you to find what works for you, because not everything works for everyone. Not every teacher works for everyone. So I hope this will help you. And if it doesn't, like I said, I encourage you to connect with what resonates with your spirit, with your soul, what feels right, okay? So let's look at the number 6. The number 6 is actually a reflective number. It represents the divine feminine as well. So 6, we have the number 6 that represents the divine feminine. And then we have the number 9, which represents the divine masculine. But we're going to break down each one, okay? So we're not talking about 9 right now. We're talking about the number 6. This number 6 is essentially a portal. It is a mirror to yourself, to your soul. So you have the outer reflection, which is as above. And then you have the inner reflection, which is below. So you've probably heard of the term as above or so below, or as within, so without, so below, as above, or so above, as below. The same thing, okay? This is how our universe is set up, okay? This is how the universe, the world we live in now, this is how it's set up. This is how the matrix is set up. This is what we see. This is how we interpret things. So, as above or so below is a representation of the number 6. The number 6 allows us to go within a deeper aspect of ourselves. So we have this avatar body. That is our external part. And then we also have our soul, our spiritual body, which is the internal part. So when we go deeper into the number 6 involves us to go deeper into our consciousness or deeper into the inner states of death. Okay? It is the darkness of our soul. It is like a mirror. It reflects, okay? The outside and the inside. As above or so below. Okay? So when we look at this grid here, I hope you guys can see it. Basically, if you can't see it, I'm kind of making it on my hand. It's kind of like a diamond shape. That is what we live in. So you get so many different theories about we live on a 2-dimensional state, we live on a 3-dimensional state, all these different things, and then you have your 4D, you have your 5D, all of these different variations, okay? These are higher variations of us, our soul. So when you're looking at this, the world is kind of like a diamond shape. It has so many levels of different energies on this level. So if this was our level right here, this line here, that is our physical level, right? That is our physical level. Let's see, we have, east over here, right? East air, west over here, and then we have north and south, okay? That is a deeper aspect to who we are, right? When we enter in on, it's our spiritual life cycle. When we enter in on one phase and then we end out on another phase, or where all spirits kind of enter in. And that is like for an advanced course. So I'm not going to break that down. That's more so very advanced. This is how my spiritual guides taught me, and it's very, very advanced. So I'll keep it very simple here. Well, and actually this right here can go into the spiritual level of the north. It can go into the spiritual level of the 9, or the 10, excuse me. It can go into the spiritual level of the 10 or the 0, the infinite number. But listen, I don't want to break that down here. Let me go to another page so y'all can clearly see what is going on, because that's like highly classified information. Let's start with the basics here. So we have the number 6, and the 6, like I mentioned before, the 6 is a representation of the reflective, the soul, okay? Now, how do you heal yourself? You heal yourself by walking in or moving in the 6 elevated levels of consciousness. So what I'm going to do is help you walk through them right now with me. Let's go. This number 6, as above or so below. Listen, I hope y'all can see this drawing. As above, so below. This number 6 is a representation of your life. Now, how do you affect as above or so below? So let's say everything that is going on with you now is happening in a higher state, in a higher realm as above. And everything that is reflecting is below, is reflecting in the human body, in the physical body. So if there is spiritual sickness, then there's going to be physical sickness. If there is spiritual wealth, there's going to be physical wealth. Things like that. That is how, basically, to put it in a simple term, that is how it resonates or connects with you. So if you want to make changes, you have to make changes in the spiritual realm first. And then also begin to make changes in the physical realm. And those things will combine to give you an equal balance or equilibrium of energy. It will balance out of energy. Do you guys remember those scales, right? The scale where you would have to put, like just a regular scale, a weighted scale. You would have to put energy on both sides to make sure that it was equal. And if you put more energy on one side, then it would tilt up. Or more energy on the left side, then it would tip down. Either way, down or up. So that is what it's like when you pour into your spiritual aspect of yourself. You have to balance both the spiritual scale and the physical end of it. They have to have the same weight. So when you begin to start a new cycle, a new journey, let's say it's a new workout regimen, and you say, well, I want to start with a new physical activity. I want to work out. I want to feel physically strong. I want to feel physically fit. I want to make sure that I am looking good on my spiritual journey. I want to make sure that my avatar feels good and looks good. Oftentimes, people will go into the gym, get a gym membership, start these new cycles, but they won't change the physical sickness in the spiritual realm by watching what they eat, or committing to drinking a cleansing for the spirit and the soul, committing to a cleansing or detox, committing to a cleansing of prayer, or cleansing out their words, what they say. That is also spiritual as well, okay? Because the mouth is breath, it's caught, and you're able to speak through that. So cleansing out what you say, or cleansing out what goes into your ears, what you listen to, all of those things, cleansing out your body, detoxification, drinking a lot of water to eliminate waste. Those are how you tie the physical aspect into the spiritual aspect. So on this first phase, the 6 elevated levels of consciousness, the first phase of consciousness you want to break down is where you are. You have to assess where you are, and then you will begin to be able to acknowledge where you're going, or acknowledge where you are. This is how you get movement, or this is how you grow in the physical realm and the spiritual realm combined. So we have to reframe okay, listen, here we go. This is what I'm gonna do. I got it. Finally. 6, bam. Above as below. So what we need to do, we have to reframe our blockages. I'm going to put an R and a B, okay? A R and a B. We have to reframe our blockages. We have to begin to recreate our physical self and our spiritual self. Now, how do you recreate yourself? You have to recreate yourself on a conscious level. That's why this is called the 6 elevated steps to consciousness, or the 6 elevated steps of consciousness, okay? Because you have to reinvent your conscious realm in order to reinvent your subconscious realm. And once you reinvent the conscious realm, the subconscious realm is going to tend to naturally fall in alignment, giving you the experiences that you want. Giving you the experiences that you want to connect with, the experiences that you want to align with, and the experiences that feel the most true to who you are, to your soul, to why you're here. Okay, so you must reframe your blockages. By reframing the blockages, we have to first identify, okay? We have to identify what our blockages are. So I encourage you to draw a chart. Make yourself a chart. So remember, we're dealing with the spiritual principle above, and below the physical principle, okay? But in order to affect these, or reflect, to work on the number 6, the darker aspect of our soul, or the darker inner being and the light being. This is where you hear a lot of people say that I'm light and love, and then you also hear people to do their shadow work, to work on their dark aspects. This is where it represents, and it all lies within the number 6. So this brings me to this key. When you see the number 666, it is not a bad energy or bad number. Why? Because the 6 is a representation of divine feminine. It's the feminine, it's the female energy. It is receiving to flow, okay? That is what the 6 is, receiving to flow out. So it's an energy of flow, of purity. So it talks about cleanliness. When you purge the soul, when you cleanse, when you purify the soul to renew, to flow, okay? So I'm hearing from Spirit that some of you need to go on a detox. Some of you do need to cleanse. Some of you do need to flow. Flow with Spirit. But you do this by receiving, by being in receptivity. So drinking a lot of water is good for receptivity. But when you see the number, this takes me back to my point. When you see the number 666, 666 is a representation of being in alignment with the feminine aspect of you, with flowing. It's also a reminder that you need to be or fall into alignment or to the spirit or the energy of flow with your soul. So, as above, so below. Remember that principle. Now, in order for us to move forward, we must what? First, remove what? Blockages. Remove the blockages. So how do we remove the blockages? We have to identify what our blockages are. We have to assess where we are at this moment. Okay, so we're going to draw a little chart here. And we're going to put an I for identification. To identify who we are. Identify what is in the present realm, what we know, okay? So, my identification is that I am loved, okay? Or I have love around me. I'm surrounded in love, okay? My identification is that I'm a YouTuber. I'm a spiritual coach. Okay, I'm abbreviating here. I'm a spiritual coach. And also, another one of my identification is that I am happy. Okay, these are all things that are on the external side. So identifying things about me, right? On the external sense. I identify that I'm loved, that I'm a YouTuber, that I am a soul or spiritual coach, okay? I'm happy. I identify that I love to travel, so I like freedom. Okay, we're going to stop there. We can also do some tough things because since we're dealing with the inner soul, right? These are the external things. But we can also identify a lot of things that are physical about ourselves. Okay, so once you identify, so I like or I have a lot of love. I am a YouTuber. I am a spiritual or soul coach. I am happy and I like freedom. These are all forms of identification about me. What I like, what I have, or what I know to be true about myself. So then you want to begin to reflect or acknowledge. So you can reflect or you can use acknowledge, okay? The acknowledgement, after you identifying deals with the conscious aspects about you. So if, for instance, I want to change the physical aspect about me in the conscious realm. So you can write anything that you like to do, anything that you identify with, Now on the other side here, this is going to be the reflective or the acknowledgement energy, the side that deals with the subconscious mind. So when you affect this side, this is the side where you want to go deeper into changing aspects or knowing aspects about yourself. This is what will help shift you into the next phases of your life or shift you into the things that you are wanting to bring about as far as manifestation in this lifetime. So for instance, I identify that I am loved. So how is the identification of love true for me? It's because I give love. And one of the things that I want to do more of as it relates to love, I want to take the time to love myself, okay? So I want to do more self-care, okay? Self-care, that's acknowledgement. Self-care is going to be me acknowledging that I am loved, but I want to give more love and I want to receive more love, But first off, I need to acknowledge that I need to give myself more love. So I'm going to do this by self-care, a routine, okay, a ritual. Let's keep going. Let's keep going here so I can make sure you have the connections. I've identified that I'm happy. What makes me happy? Traveling, giving, being of service. These are the things that I like to do. This is my acknowledgement. This is how I reinforce these things. So I've also identified that I like freedom. I like freedom. So what is going to help me acknowledge that freedom? Well, expression. I like to express myself. So that makes me feel connected to freedom. These are all ways to retrain your subconscious mind so it affects your conscious. This is how you're able to elevate your conscious level. So first you attack the subconscious. You attack the acknowledgments, okay? So for instance, let's say that you identify that you are a smoker, right? You are a smoker, but you want to acknowledge that smoking doesn't make you happy. It actually makes you more sad or makes you fall into a depressive energy or depressive state. Then you can say, I acknowledge that, you can identify that I identify that I'm a smoker, right? But I acknowledge that smoking is crippling my ability for me to make the best decisions for my life. So you write that in acknowledgement so you can get a better picture about who you are. For instance, I've identified that I'm addicted to social media. I identified that I like social media. And I acknowledge that I spend too much time with social media. I want to change the way that I allow these infrastructures to play a role in my life. I want to give myself more time. I acknowledge this is where I need help at. So this is what you're using this chart for. You're using this chart to identify who you are. And then you're also using it to acknowledge it. So once you do those things, once you're able to rework those blockages, remember it's redirecting the blockages, reframing the blockages. When you have blockages in your life, you have to be able to identify them, and then you have to be able to acknowledge them. So once you identify what the blockage is, in this case, I just identified a few things that maybe that are current about me versus blockages. So you can do them either way. You can do them like I'm identifying the blockages. So maybe the blockage is that you smoke too much or you spend too much time on social media. And then you're going to acknowledge what it is that is why you're doing it, okay? Or what it is that makes you fall into the energy of doing it, okay? So that is the acknowledgement there. That's what you want to write down on the acknowledgement side. And once you've worked that, you can move on to step 2. Step 2 is called opening up the blockages. Now, we will begin to open up whatever those blockages are or whatever those things you've identified about yourself and how you can heal those. This is powerful ways, powerful steps. I want to thank you guys for aligning with Ariana, and also you can find me or connect with me for your destiny readings, for your soul readings on my website only at www.alignwithariana.com. You can also purchase some of our wonderful spiritual candles on our website. These are amazing, okay? If you don't know, join my Instagram channel. Follow me. I'm going to put my Instagram handle here. This is where you can connect with me only. Now, I want to remind you that there are a lot of pages that are fake, that are scamming people, that are taking your hard-earned money. So please use your discernment and proceed with caution. The only way that you can connect with me are on the handles below. So I will list them on this video. I want to thank you guys for more details, for more goodies, for more working your magic. Peace, love, wadu. Bye.